Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exceptional episode of the Pitchside
Podcast.
This is an exceptional episode and a very special one where we're going to be talking about heritage as it is Heritage Day. Gents, as usual, guys, my guests are of an esteemed nature.
Sure.
I have the most successful captain
For
of
sure.
the PSL era ever. Sir 𝐒𝐞𝐫𝐢𝐭𝐚𝐠𝐞
How are you doing, brother?
I'm well, thanks, and yourself, Sir 𝐒𝐞𝐫𝐢𝐭𝐚𝐥.
Thanks for having me once again. I just want to go to your level of English. You know how you know?
Then the one, the only, the Rock. What's up?
ngimnandi.
Kuyahlangana?
Kuyahlangana. Ngiyabonga ukuba la.
Sabongo to Bekon. I'd just like to take you back. I think you were part of that squad in 2001 that played that Champions League final.
CAF final.
Sure.
Sure.
What's your fondest memory of that period?
Oh. Ukuba la.
Yeah.
Neves. Ukuba yi-party team
Yeah,
eyodlala i-CAF final. Not everyone
100%.
ongareacha leso stage lesi.
Yeah,
So the whole journey nje yokudlala from the start yokudlala i-CAF to the final, even though we lost.
yeah.
So it was a fond memory for me.
Tell me, how difficult was it then? Because, you know, I've sat with the gents on
Yeah.
here and I'll bring Sir 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐿 and he'll tell
Yeah.
me about the many war stories that
Yeah.
they have of traveling by
Sure.
bus
Sure.
for 4 hours. There's no food.
Yeah.
You can't drink the water, anything
Sure.
like that. How was your experience then on the ground at that time?
I think eyethu beyiwes. I think eyabohlompo iyababhethanyana
Okay.
because Africa, I remember once Sodal Africa, I don't remember which country.
Yeah.
I-pitch abasinika yona for training. It was a gravel for the whole week. No turf, no what.
Yeah.
One incident, I think it was Angola. Siceda ukulanda airport. Small bus. Imagine siphethe lamabheki lawo
Yeah,
amakhulu.
cool.
Small bus nipinyene da. So masuka airport asinaki amajita sacoca ebhasini. But somebody wathi bafethu le ndawo le kuninsidlula. Yabona? It's been more than an hour. Bastrayisa indlela ewa. More than an hour. West part kufike hotel kwethu. Yes. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Ukuhlika kwethu ladies of the night, ngizothi ladies of the night.
Yeah. Siyakuzwa.
Already bamile eminyango. We refuse kulala lapho. They had ukuthi ba change basitholele enye hotel. So traveling wise, hotel wise, pitch wise, I get bokuwes.
Yeah. Let's talk about the team then. At that time, there's always been a saying around the football club of our style of playing being shoeshine and piano.
Yeah.
When you came and you were part of that of the team,
Sure.
how much was that entrenched into you guys as players?
Fortunately for Tina, siqale sase development.
Okay.
Ngo-Ted Dimitru.
Yes.
Ted Dimitru bekangeke alawe ngathini scope the ball,
Yeah.
long pass.
Kabas Pumo.
Yeah, khaba siphumule.
Yeah.
No, besidlala.
All right.
So fortunately for Tina, mang promoter to first team, promoter ngiyazi lento. And then find out ukuthi la ekhaya kudlalwa yona.
Yeah.
Yabona?
Yeah.
So it was easy for me to adapt.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I were to say to you, in your view as a player, how do you then define shoeshine and piano?
Like now.
In your view, nje? Because coming from then,
Okay.
well, from what you know it as from
Yeah,
development, how do you define it?
It's like for me, shoeshine and piano, like you play, you don't lose the ball because batini form of attack is
Yeah.
to have the ball.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So for me now, I think it's you keep the ball as long as you can,
Yeah.
so that you can create those opportunities
Yeah.
for scoring.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Skipper,
Yes, sir.
same question to you first and foremost is how would you then define that style of play?
I think a Sundowns way of playing over the years where they believe that they have the better players in the league. And it's not arrogance, it's how they've been selecting players all over the years, all the years that they've been existing. So the generation after generation, we all know that they've got players that are good on the ball, good in making other players, suffer when they have the ball. They use the ball a lot. That's why they call themselves Shusha and Piano. And when you look at the generation number 10, they had players who can do that. In the midfield, I used to love a player called 𝐒𝐤𝐞𝐜𝐢𝐭𝐚𝐥. What a player he was. And he knew how to play with the ball, without the ball. Roger was one of the players that you would watch him every. I can't forget that guy. I'm coming with that guy. One was the master of that. And when I asked and do my research about the generation before that, they used to tell me about which is 𝐒𝐤𝐞𝐫𝐢𝐭𝐚𝐥, who knew how to play TV4. They were the players who played that Shushan and piano. So you can tell that. When I use your line, a heritage in that when you play for Sundowns, you have to play a specific way or a specific brand of football, and you have to be flexible as a Sundowns player for you to be able to play within various positions, because Shushan and piano allows you to move within the structure, but freely so, because they want to use the ball. And if you remember the 40-something passes, under 10. Remember that just at that end. If you watch that clip of those passes, you realize that every player was occupying spaces, but they were moving as the game passed. It was only the two centre backs, which I believe they kept their position steady, but and they were 10 men down. If you remember that match, and they allowed to use the Shushan and piano to allow them to open the space and create moments for themselves. So even when you enter Mamelodi Sundowns yard, I remember Ndade Shekwani he used to tell us that you know where you are in terms of your career as a footballer. You are in the best team in the world in terms of how they use the ball. And it was not arrogance in how he was saying it, because when he refers the other jerseys that you're gonna wear, he'll ask you, do you know who was wearing number 10? Exactly, and that tells you that this is a team that consistently wants to strive in having the identity of the club, and they take it to generation after generation. When I look at other players that are playing now, and a generation Yarena and a generation Buten, generation before that, there's similarities in terms of the players. They might not have the same skills, but how they use the ball is more or less the same.
100%.
So that's why they cannot change it now. We cannot change it next year. And it's something that has to be within us, because I believe in Africa, and I could be wrong, could be corrected, we are the only team that stuck into that philosophy for years.
Playing,
because I remember when Coach Peter was still here, he used to say, guys, you need to understand that we have to score goals, but we cannot afford how we play. It will be difficult to play Shushan and piano every time,
100%.
but we have to stick to it. Unfortunately, that's how the club has been brought up, or to be sold to us as players who wanted to play for Sundowns. And I do believe that when you are a player, you want to join Sundowns, you ask yourself questions. Am I good enough to use the ball? Because that's how they play.
100%.
So I think that's what I believe, and I understand the Shushan and piano.
You've given me goosebumps, because just recently on Facebook I saw a clip, Sam Iwi-Kambule, Zain Musa, and Isaac Shai. Zain mid-game. Chest trap, but they would consistently just knock the ball around, and everybody who had a chance to be on the ball was comfortable on the ball.
And funny enough, it's not like the players then they didn't know how to do showboating. But they chose not to. And it has gone to generation to generation. Watch Mamelodi Sundowns when they play. They've got one of the best dribblers in that team. But none of them, even generation Yabuten, where somebody will stand on the ball and do step over without passing others. They just use the ball. They move the ball. And this is what Shushan and piano, I think, in my own understanding, is. That even Zain, when you say he was dribbling and doing skills, but he knew when to pass it. He knew what to dribble going forward. In your generation, I used to love Danny Mambush. Danny Mambush knew that they will do everything because they are capable of doing that, but I have to be in the box and score for them.
100%.
You know, how was Roger?
Yeah, because sorry ne. Because ngifuna uku-add kulento uhlompa isho.
Sure.
Sundowns know uku-recruiter ama-players are comfortable over the ball. You must know ama-basic wakho nilabo on sport.
Okay.
Ne? It was lucky nje Sundowns izo sign a player is skillful.
Yeah.
No. You must know to read the game.
Okay.
Coming to Roger, guys. Hotman Roger. Mina ngimbiza Hotman Roger.
Sure.
Bekayenza ibola like simple. Ne?
Yeah.
There was a time like training. Ne? 11 against 11. Bayathanda ukutshela Mbushi, don't move.
That's how you call him.
Yeah.
Mbushi.
Don't move.
Yeah.
I will find you.
Shoo.
With one step. And uzomthola. So the good thing combination yaga Roger, Mambushi, Chuku. It was a killer.
Yeah.
You bring back so many memories, and I guess it's some of the things that have formed the history of this club.
Yeah.
I'll never forget Rafael Chuku, where he caused the Rothmans Cup final at the time to be replayed. And Coach Doleza was on the other side and shouting, "Ask Sizwe, why didn't he mark Chuku? I tell him, mark Chuku, don't do anything, mark Chuku." And he scores, you know. So I think for me, those memories are forever entrenched. Seeing Mamelodi Sundowns play in, which is now called Emalahleni, but at the time it was called Woodbank, Linville Stadium.
Sure.
You know, the old school pictures where Kombingani clearly around the field. Those things, I think, things have changed now, whereas Ingani is there to now get a chance to come and watch, but they sit in grandstands and so forth, and the game develops with time. Dan, I want to find out from you, what is your fondest memory? Let's start maybe on the road, your fondest memory, that when you say, I look back at the year 2001, what is the one memory? I know there's a lot, but what's the fondest memory you have being on the road, going to Champions League?
Endleleni nje.
Yeah.
Estradini.
Yeah.
It was packed before a stadium.
Yeah.
Ukusuka ehotel nje.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Angisakhulumi ngokufika stadium. It was difficult to enter.
Phew.
Even us, ama-team ayodlala.
Yeah.
It was very difficult. Ukungena nje, I think i-game delay some few minutes nyana. Just ukuthi ama-supporter settle down.
Yeah.
But most bebangaphandle.
Amazing.
So imagine ama-nerves. Imagine awudlali, awukho ku-level. But ama-nerves.
Atin.
Yes.
Isisu siyakujika.
Yes. Because this thing, sometimes it comes once.
Yeah.
You understand? So those memories, they will stay for long.
In my line, I call them the rare moment in football.
Exactly.
In football.
So
Skipper, we owe that rare moment in football to the star here. You were there at the forefront of it. I was privileged enough to be there with you guys, but I want to find out from you, when you were just going through Champions League, what is your fondest memory of that time?
I think it's to come out of Lubumbashi, alive.
Yeah.
In terms of facing challenges of that football pitch against that football club, because they were the bullies in terms of how they approached the game.
Yeah.
And they knew that they were good,
but
they took it to the next level in terms of how they were treating their opposition.
Yeah.
So it was not only in the field of play, in how they make you feel when you arrive there, that they are not unplayable in their home yard. And I think those are the things that you take to your game and copy the good thing and say, if you add a little bit of confidence and arrogancy in your football game, obviously your talent will back you up.
100%.
But then you'll be unplayable, because then you know how to. Of course, we're South Africans. We are not that country where instead of playing us in Thohoyandou, we take you to Cape Town. No, we know those. In terms of mind games, we only want to play in a field of play. But I think those are the challenges that taught us what the Champions League football was about. And with those lessons, I think they pushed us all the way to the finals, because we felt like if we survive this one, we might as well go all the way. Yeah, and I think that helped us, to go all the way and even win it.
Yeah.
Dan, is there a game that stands out to you that sometimes mostly we're just reminiscing? Ebuyayo kuwe la khando ngalela langalela kwasuma amadoda insizwa zashaya izandla?
For me personally,
Yes.
I played a game against Chiefs. I think finally Bob Safe.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Safe.
Unfortunately, kule game sa lose. I don't want to mention why.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But ngaleza enkathi.
Yeah.
Yeah, bokune.
Yes.
Yeah. So I played the whole game. And you're leading throughout the game. About check his card with yapheli game ipheli.
Hey.
Ipheli game. Yeah, ishaye ref ukuthi yapheli ipheli game.
Until
they equalized.
Then yaphela.
Immediately we put the ball on the center.
Yeah.
Sisusa game yaphela. I'm a penalty
it's 50-50.
gambling. It's 50-50.
Yeah.
So unfortunately we lost but that game ngihlale ngikhumbula njalo.
Yeah.
Because benama incidents amaningi right na wrong.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah.
Skipper?
I would say 2.
Okay.
Yeah. One is the one in Alexandria when we lifted the Champions League. It was a nice moment for us, but a good moment for us in terms of we lifted the trophy.
Yeah.
But to go there, it goes back to what Dan was saying about the nerves. The nerves is going to a territory where they will make you uncomfortable, and you feel it when you enter the stadium that this is not the normal territory that you normally operate in. But the match on its own, I think we stuck to the plan. We knew that we're not going to hear each other speaking to each other on the day. But I think the agreement of the players on the day was spot on, to know that we need to drag this match for as long as we can. I think in that particular match, I would say football has got its own language. I always say that even if we can't hear each other, but we can converse without using the words. And that was the evidence of it, because I couldn't even hear the coach or anybody next to me. But we managed to execute that plan to say we're dragging this match. And of course they scored towards the end of the match. But for the fact that the first half we contained them without having a sniff in front of the box, I think that was a positive.
Okay.
The second one that I scored, there's a goal that I scored in Orlando. A beautiful goal. When I watch that video every time, I feel like it's a PlayStation. It doesn't look real. Beautiful. And the match ended at 1-0 favor of Mamelodi Sundowns. It was on a Wednesday.
Yes.
And I remember a few of my Pirates fans were on our case, because we were the contenders of the league at the time, and Pirates was leading the packs. But when we went to Orlando in that match, in that environment, of course, people don't talk much about the environment in Orlando, that how difficult it is to play in that stadium. But you can tell the tension between us and the players of Orlando Pirates. But we managed to score that goal in the 68th minute. And when I scored that goal, you could tell even the emotions that were coming from everyone who was on the pitch, the bench, the supporters. It was kind of a relief. So I enjoyed that moment. Of course, the goal on its own, it was beautiful.
Amazing. Skipper, when you scored 7 or 8 goals in a game, I mean, this is part of our history. We hold a record at 24 now.
Actually, you're right. You're right. Since we're speaking about the football heritage, I think those are the moments that we should put out there, and of course with a lot of respect.
100%.
We shouldn't be proud. We shouldn't be set not be proud of the achievement
100%.
of the club, because the club has done so much.
Amazing.
Even though it's difficult to say things, because you're doing well as a club. and it's a thin line between being arrogant and being cocky and about the stuff that you have achieved as a club. But you're right. We hold a record as a Mamelodi Sundowns that we, in one competition, we played a match and we won 24-0. That has never happened in South African football, let alone abroad when you see football matches in competition. But I think the club, I believe we are in the right direction in how we do things, because we're the trendsetters. So is that the word?
Yes,
trendsetters.
100%.
This is how we do things, and other people follow. And of course, it's a beautiful thing to see. And I always say that goalkeepers, they are a special breed of people. This is what we see.
But now, Skipper, tell me, you're in this game, and everybody usually, by the time you're 4 or 5 not, baqala palama bola and showboat and stuff like that. And you spoke about this earlier to say, not at Mamelodi Sundowns. I told you that you go on to score 7 or 8 goals in a professional game. Yeah. What is going through your mind?
I think it's how the club allows you to take your game to the next level.
Yes.
And Braden will tell you that when he got to the first team, he was not the same person after 6 months, because the players will push you to the next level. So as a player, I always knew that the club doesn't want anything less than great or good. So you have to be in that level of everybody that is in there. So for you to be amongst the conversation of players that have done it over the years, you need a level of consistency, and consistency starts with smaller things. And when things are easier, that's where we test the good player.
Amazing.
Because because that's where everybody wants the ball now, and it's easier to fall into the trap of trying to do those showboating, because people but when you do that, you must be careful, because that can be what we remember you for. And the entertainers are a lot in South African football, a lot of them, and because everybody can do skills. But can you play 60 passes without losing the ball in a match? That is a difficult thing, but it's the easiest thing, because it's a basic way of playing football.
100%.
Just to go at gule question, follow up gule question yakuthi Sundowns scored 𝐒𝐞𝐫𝐢𝐭𝐚𝐠𝐞 bako 7 goals. Yini esayimqondweni wakho? You understand? I used to be coaching uPitso ku development. Bekathanda ukuthi inet ayigcwale. Until izigcwale, then you can do whatever you want. But as long engakagcwali, please just concentrate and focus on the game.
Did you hear that?
Ayigcwali net. It's never enough. Tell. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. I think more than anything, we appreciate the history, that the memories, number one, that you've given us, number two, but the parts that you've played in creating that history, because that should never be taken for granted. The next group of players looks at what you guys did and said, how can we do better than that? And you've set the bar very high. So it will be a consistent chasing of this thing, and until it gets better than what you found the jersey to be, it needs to continue.
That's true.
And they bayenza umsebenzi omuhle, because bayithathe bayibeka to the next level. Understand? Thina sithathile abomambushi bayithathile bayibeka la. Thina sithathe abohlompo bayibeka. These ones, they're excelling. They're excelling.
I mean, we've been. I don't think there's any other team in Mzansi who's played the Club World Cup twice.
No.
We are there.
It's not everyone.
It's not everyone.
Not everyone.
It's not for everyone. No. Kona bakhethi. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching the Pitchside Podcast. Please do leave us your comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with everybody. We are Masandawana.